since I was little, I always had a camera, and the family was upset with me because I'm always snapping pictures all the time. And I love wildlife and outdoors. I'm an outdoor person. I've been hunting and fishing and snowmobiling and everything since I could walk with my parents and the family. So eventually I got myself a better camera. Actually, I started with the Rebel T5, and I was taking wildlife pictures. We built a cottage on St. Joe's Island, and my husband yelled, "Sheri, get your camera," and out behind the outhouse were 2 fawns. And I got a beautiful picture of one of them with one eye peeking through the bush, and that's what got me started. It's called Peekaboo Fawn. And someone said, "Oh, I'd buy that." And I thought, I've got thousands of pictures on my computer with wildlife and landscape. Let's give it a try. So I started Art in the Park just to see how it would go, and I loved it. It was so much fun to talk to all the people, and they were buying my stuff. I couldn't believe it. So that got the bug, and I thought, well, why am I hiding all these images on my computer? I love the outdoors. It's therapeutic. I love the exercise. It makes the world disappear. Well, that's twofold, because the photographer part took me a long time to find my style. That's some advice, is find your style. I'm a generalist photographer. That means I shoot what I like, what catches my eye. And I think that's how you should start. Find your passion, and as a photographer, get out and shoot every day. That has made me a much better photographer. It doesn't matter whether I am shooting wildlife or landscape or out shooting for big clients in town for commercial work. Shoot every day. I've taken courses, I've read books, I do YouTube and do that all. Look at other photographers, see what they do. Well, I love being out in the bush, the wildlife and the landscape, and then astrophotography. Absolutely love it. But I love that incidental shoot that you don't know you're going to do, and this just happened recently with the downtown fire on Queen Street. I was going out to do snowy owls in the West End, and on the radio they said there was a fire downtown, a big one, and I knew it was big because as I was driving I could see the plume of smoke. And as I came down, I started in the Station Mall parking lot, and I thought, this isn't good enough, I'm not close enough. And I was really intrigued by the billowing smoke and the aerial truck with the firefighters, and I moved to 3 different locations, and then finally I came up onto Queen Street and looked down, and here was the aerial truck with a firefighter on the bottom and 2 up in the bucket, and all of a sudden a huge plume of smoke, black and yellow smoke, started to come over the firefighters, and I took out my 70-200 on my other Canon. I carry 2 cameras with me, and I just started shooting, and I was in awe. I think it was about -25 without wind chill when that fire happened, and I loved it, and I framed it so that you couldn't tell where we were. Or where they were. You couldn't tell it was Sault Ste. Marie. It focused, the main focus was on the firefighters doing their job. Besides the course I took at Sault College, which started me knowing the technical aspects of the camera, I started to really admire a lot of established Canadian photographers, and I love to travel. So this is my 7th year. Every summer I go on a working, traveling vacation, and I work with a Canadian professional photographer. I've worked with Dave Brosha, who is known for his portrait landscapes, as well as his landscapes. Peter Carroll, who has done a lot of business photography. Wayne Simpson, who does a lot of portrait photography, and I'm really excited. I leave next week for Women Photographers of Algonquin, the 2nd annual photography workshop with Helen Gross. So I learned so much, both on the photography side and the business side, from all of these photographers. Okay, I have my own website, sheriminardi.com, and I have all kinds of galleries on there: wildlife, landscape, macro photography, commercial photography, family shoots, headshots. There's samples on there. So if you go to sheriminardi.com, you can see my pricing and how to order, and order directly through me. You can't order on the website, but anything that's on my website you can order. I also are on social media every day. I have both my personal and my business Facebook page, Instagram and Twitter, and I try and post an image a day.